It was evening by the time the meeting ended. Once it adjourned, each of us began to prepare for tomorrow. Although for me, that meant relaxing a bit in our dining hall. Tomorrow I'd be giving a pep talk for my personal entourage in the morning, and then we'd all head off via the transport spell. In the afternoon, I'd confer with Yuki. Laplace was going to take me to him, so we'd have plenty of time to spare. This would just be a day trip for me, so I didn't have a whole lot to prep for. I certainly didn't need to bring a gift for Yuki or whatnot. I figured we should keep things casual. Are you sure you should be so blithe about this? Ah, I bet it's fine. And what about you? You sure you should be leaving Momiji and Alvis alone right now? Benimaru was with me in the dining hall. Being a newlywed and all, I wanted him to have as much relaxing home time as possible. That was why I asked about his wives, but Benimaru just chuckled at me. They told me they're taking a cooking lesson from Shuna today. I heard they have an informal agreement not to try to one-up each other, but thanks to that, they've shooed me away from the house for now. Whoa. Not exactly the happiest, most carefree way to kick off a marriage, is it? I wondered if they could keep things up like that, but it's not on me to comment on other people's family lives. I see, I said, sagely nodding in agreement as Diablo excitedly brought a meal over to us like a real butler, for a change. I mean, it still felt weird having a primal demon serving as my butler, but he seemed to enjoy every minute of it, and I wasn't about to shoot him down. I was used to this treatment now, besides, and I wasn't about to change my mind. Thank you very much. No, this is part of my job as well, so. You think so, huh? Well, if you're happy, I'm happy. I have this as well for you, Sir Rimuru. Xian was there, pouring me a glass of wine. She didn't make it herself, of course, so it was perfectly safe and non-lethal to drink, but something about her presence made me really uncomfortable. This was a simple meal of fried pork cutlets and rice, after all, so I really didn't need this 5-star service. Having Diablo and Xian standing behind me just added to my fatigue. Here, why don't you guys sit down and eat with us? What a kind thing to say. Oh, no, I'm already full, so don't worry about me. Yes, Xian's been sampling the wares in the kitchen, after all. You, Diablo. Yeesh. They were at each other's throats over every little thing. It seemed pointless to give them any more attention, so Benimaru and I let them be and enjoyed our meal. So do you intend to fully trust Yuki, then? Not from the heart, no. That's kind of asking a lot. But right now, I kind of have to, you know. And I want to, also. Then I will follow your lead, Sir Rimuru. Our entire strategy, after all, assumes that we can trust him. And what if he turns traitor? That would be trouble. But we can manage, I imagine. Well, sorry for the trouble in advance. I'm always ready and willing. Something about Benimaru's smile really encourages me. In war, you always have to trust your allies, your friends. Let any doubt seep into your mind, and that throws your chances of success at any operation into uncertainty. If Yuki betrays us, we pay an enormous toll for that, so it's certainly a difficult choice I'm being forced to make. But I decided to trust Yuki, and now that I made that decision, there was no point worrying over it. I was wondering, by the way, do you even need to eat now? I posed the question to Benimaru, who was tucking into his meal right alongside me. In terms of need, the answer is no. Ah, I thought so. But the same applies to you, doesn't it, Lord Rimuru? I'm just glad I didn't lose my sense of taste. Oh, I hear you. When I lost the 3 main desires all human beings have, I thought the world was gonna end, honestly. I went through a lot of hard work to regain my appetite and eat to sleep, so I'm really enjoying every day now. I'm sure. I was worried about the possibility as well, but I'm the same as always on that front, so I can't complain. We nodded at each other. Then something occurred to me. Oh, so all 3 of your major needs are still there. Yes, fortunately. All of them. Even sleep. I don't need to sleep, but meditation puts me in a sleep state. It still helps me recover from fatigue as well. Wow. So I had to go through all that work in order to sleep, but he gets to keep that from the start. And it even gives him a lot of benefits I don't get to enjoy. But what I was even more interested in. And your sex drive. I lowered my voice as I asked it. Benimaru nodded back, looking a little embarrassed. Oh, what the hell? I thought you couldn't evolve because you won't be able to have children then. That's right. But both Momiji and Alvis are pregnant right now. Well, congratulations, but wait, did you keep your sex drive after the evolution? I assumed it would disappear as well, but whether I'm fertile or not, it's still there, yes. Looks like I won't be leaving them lonely, after all. I was just too jealous. Keeping functionality I never had in the first place. Talk about a perfect evolution. God damn it, why can't I have that? Gee, that's great. Yes. Hey, why are you taking my food? Shut up, you traitor. My jealousy finally ignited as I took Benimaru's dish away. All I got left to enjoy is food, but look at you, you bastard. Could anyone have faulted me for thinking that way? Anyway, we continued to enjoy ourselves well into the night, the usual scene, kind of. But all that was about to end abruptly. Oh, holy smokes. Guys. Something really awful's happened, apparently, so I gotta get back, like, right now. Laplace was shouting as he stormed into the dining hall. He wasn't alone. Bad news, Sir Rimuru. We just received a call in the name of King Gazel. It informed us that Velgrynd has appeared before the composite force, and they're requesting immediate support. Vester's eyes were bloodshot. Surprise, I rose from my seat. Okay, assemble the group, I'm leaving with ASAP. Right away. Benimaru promptly sprang into action. They'd all be here in short order. Laplace, give me just a little bit. We'll join you. Well, if you want, but... I wondered if Laplace's panic was just an some scheme to lure us in and trap us. But upon hearing Vester's report, I saw that it wasn't the case. Something major was going down in the Empire, something not even Laplace was informed of. It was important to stay calm. I know this is a big deal, but don't panic. We're in an alliance, remember? You'd be a lot more useful bringing all of us than going back alone, won't you? Useful. If the enemy's strongest fighter is right in front of the composite division, maybe we could consider this an opportunity. Reportedly someone attacked Yuki as well, but if we can beat all of them now, it'd give us a decisive advantage in our negotiations. With that in mind, I decided to ask Laplace for more details. So what happened, exactly? After a few moments of hesitation, Laplace answered me. Well, Tyr reached out to me. She said our team's president, Lady Kigali, was calling for me, cause Kondo and his team were attacking them. Lieutenant Kondo. One of the guys on my watch out for list. Probably good to team up with Laplace and beat him up now. But what I wondered about is whether Yuki's force wasn't able to fend these guys off and why. What's Yuki doing, then? Did he lose, too? Well, it sounds like Damrata's taking him on. Damrata. The Cerberus leader who's actually vice commander of the Imperial Guardians, right? So he turned traitor on Yuki. I was under the impression he was on Yuki's side. But he's not. I've never met him, so I can't guess at his motivations. That I don't know. Tyr and Footman keep on changing their stories. But for now, it's clear he was fighting the boss. Hard to say much. But one thing's for sure, a lot of enemies are on the field, and they're dispersed all over the place. Job 1 was to gain an accurate beat on the situation. Not wanting to waste any time, I deployed Argus, the Eye of God, on the spot. We already had the coordinates, giving me a pinpoint view of the composite division's encampment. I projected it on the dining hall wall. Wow, muttered someone in the room. There we saw a beautiful woman, a lustrous smile. Her most notable trait was her blue hair, tied up in buns on top of her head. She had on a dress I'd describe as similar to a kipau, plus a military jacket draped over her shoulders. She was standing alone, as if strolling through an empty field, except there was a large army of 60,000 troops behind her, or at least, the vestiges of an army. Those were dead bodies in the air, huh? We could see pillars of crimson connecting heaven and earth, a high-gravity force field. Gravity collapse, huh? What a drag, stealing my greatest trick like that. Carrera was taking this pretty lightly, but her expression was dead serious. I could see why. The magic this woman, presumably Velgrynd, had broken out was even more precise than the spell Carrera cast. She perfectly specified the range of it, keeping it at bay and under control. There were no other traces of destruction in the area, showing that her spell affected the gravity and nothing else. So she used gravity to send the troops flying without damaging anything else. That's right, my lord. And even more vexing to me, there's not even a single grain of sand caught up in it. The only thing it's blowing into the sky are whoever she sees as an enemy. Is that possible? I guess it must be. We were seeing it happen here, so there was no point doubting it. We're going to fight her. Kahahaha. She is every bit the elder sister of Sir Valdor, is she not? How fascinating. I've always wanted to have a serious fight with one of them. Diablo was bold as always, but honestly, I didn't see any way that he'd win. Negative. If we challenge her with all our strength, we have a chance to win. Great to hear, but the all-hands-on-deck approach was a non-starter for me. There'd definitely be casualties then, so I'd prefer to avoid battle if I could. So would going after Emperor Ludor be a better bet than Velgrynd? If I could have Guy and Ludor settle their game, we could bring this battle to an end and avoid any unnecessary sacrifice. But I don't understand. Why isn't she completing the spell fully? Perhaps she doesn't like destroying nature, unlike us. I doubt it. Look at that. There's a pile of corpses with the blood all drained from them. Tensura pointed at one corner of the screen. She was right, we could see multiple corpses in a pile. I used a split-screen effect to focus on the spot, and there, near the pile, we saw a man in a military outfit and a woman I was familiar with. Is that Kigali? Yuki's secretary. She's the head of the moderate jesters. She created us. God damn it. I don't want to believe it, but it's true. Footman and Tyr told me as much through telepathy, but I guess Kondo really was controlling Lady Kigali. Controlling? You mean mind control? Yeah. And worst of all, Tyr and Footman can't defy Lady Kagali's orders at all. Our telepathy got cut off a bit ago, and I bet it's cause she ordered them to stop. That sucks. I think it's awful to take away a person's free will like that. But that's not the pressing issue. We're in serious trouble. So how far does Kagali's thrall or whatever extend if she's being mind controlled? Are you alright? I couldn't really tell since he was wearing a mask, but Laplace really did look frustrated. If he was as helpless as Tyr and Footman against his leader's orders, that was a major problem. Nah, I'm fine. Lady Kagali created me, it's true, but I'm the only one who ain't obliged to follow her orders. The bigger deal right now is that most of the folks Yuki's gathered have a locking curse on him. Their top leaders are gonna be the main problem in that case, but judging by how the army's looking right now, I don't see much point worrying about him. Yeah, it looked like Yuki's force was done for.